Okay, let's get right into it.
Okay, so
this is kind of in your court.
Yeah, this is technically keen viewers, key realmers will remember from episode 1 or 2 or 3, Sam's Tech Corner. This is kind of a similar thing because this is getting a lot of questions. Some of the 10 million views we now accumulated on one video on TikTok, about half of them, about 5 million people have DM'd me and saying, how do you control the cameras? Using buttons here, I see your right hand is moving these around. The answer is no. It's a little more complex than that. So
this is the backstage pass. We want to do kind of some more of these. A peek behind the yellow curtains. And yeah, the DMs have been pouring in. Guys, 10 million, actually collectively, if you count all the social media, about 12, 13 almost million views on some of this content. Guys, half, maybe 7, 6 million DMs coming in, asking us, how the heck are those cameras controlled?
Right.
I'm tired of it, so we're gonna go ahead and set the record straight here and show. We're
getting the elephant out of the room.
Yes.
And so what? Basically, everyone knows that a technical director says controls camera, and director says ready camera 1, take camera 1. I'm kind of doing both those roles here.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is readying cameras with my right hand.
Yes.
But it's downstairs. It's with the feet that I'm actually controlling most of this. So you can see that all 10 toes are being controlled, or controlling different mechanisms. And so as you notice, I'm not just pulling these, willy-nilly.
And so I've heard you explain this too before, which I think you might want to go into with some of the realmers, is it's like you've created a system where if you're doing like the pinkies, that'll do something.
Exactly.
And if you're doing just the middles, that'll do something.
Right.
And then maybe a big toe on left and a pinky on right, that'll do something. So you've got a whole combination. And if there's 10 toes, I mean, we're talking probably tens of millions of combinations.
Exactly.
If mathematicians could work, if there's any mathematicians in the chat, could you work out how many combinations? It's almost binary with ones and zeros. You can make a computer run. So we're talking 10 toes.
But each of my toes has 10 degrees of articulation.
Oh my! It's over.
Yeah.
It's over for the haters. You can do so much. So
what we're doing here is, like all kinds of things. I'm turning helping encode the audio is one thing. Turning the mics on and off. Sometimes I deactivate CurseBot with this. It's not all about cameras cutting and so on. It's a lot is going on.
So that opens a question, because I heard you go into this, and I don't want to get into your private life too much.
Okay.
But you've mentioned before that you're controlling some stuff at your home computers too.
Oh yeah.
Which is about 10 miles away from the studio. So how are you doing that? You're controlling stuff at your house, your lights, your dishwasher?
No, what I do right now, so my wife is home right now, and when I'm gone, I like to keep the lights turning on and off constantly. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off.
To save on the
basically flicking the thing, because if you do that, you're saving 50%. Your lights are on half the time, but you don't really have to spend half your day in darkness or half your day in lightness, because it's just all split the difference. So it's kind of a win-win, really.
So we might say that could be called Sam's Toe Flick for light-saving energy bill swagger.
Right. And in many other uses that are just a little more boring and practical.
Could you write code with that? I mean, you could type, because if we're saying you could.
No, most of this is typing, yeah.
Right, so you could take a QWERTY keyboard, and so maybe walk us through that. It's almost like a T9 on an old cell phone. You could do a T9 style.
Try T1000, basically. Each T9, I literally, this is in my pinky toe is often a figure of speech, but in this case, it's literally, I have this stuff in my pinky toe. So more or less, I'm typing. What I'm doing here is typing ready camera 1.
Oh my God.
Ready camera 1, and then I type take camera 2.
Real quick, can you say, "Hey Doug, I want to see what that looks like"?
Sure. Here's what it looks like.
That's so cool. Maybe I'll cut that out, and I'll put that in a LED picture frame in my home, and I'll have that loop, and I'll always remember. So that's how Sam says hello.
Absolutely. I could come up with something a little more custom for you too.
Now here's $1 million question. Those calf muscles, those Achilles tendons must be beefy. They must be big. They must be yummy. And I know you're famous for not wanting to wear shorts, and I respect that. I respect that wholeheartedly. But can I get a promise from you this summer?
Sure.
Can I see those calves at the beach?
Absolutely, because our 1-year anniversary is coming up in just a
oh my
few
gosh,
weeks.
that's right.
And that means I've been doing this for almost 1 year now, and so my calves are about the size of a log that you'd burn for
Oh my God. And I bet you they're pale, because you're not wearing shorts.
Absolutely.
You're wearing pants to cover them up. Now, Sam has a remarkable body. He has remarkable legs, and we want to show them, and we want him to be comfortable with those. So maybe we're on a poll. Would we like to see Sam's large calves?
I'd love to
And
know.
praise it would we like to see, because I want the Realmers to answer that. Do you think the community would like to see large calves? Developed meaty calves? Just to respect the body. Well, thanks for sharing that, Sam. That's so exciting. And maybe we'll check in again at some point later to see if you've made any updates on that system, on that swagger. And
It's always developing.
we love your toes, we love your system, and we love your swagger.
Thank you.